Morning to all. This is Nagul Mira. Our subject is PPSC for first civil. In that fourth unit, last topics that is pointer arithmetic in C. Okay. So today's our topic is pointers arithmetic in C. Before that, what is our yesterday's topic? That is L value and R value. Yes, what is the meaning of this? I am recalling briefly again. L value and R value. Here, L value refers to memory location which identifies an object. Here, L value may appear as either left hand side or right hand side of assignment operator that is equal to. Okay, na? Here, L value represent as identifier. We have seen example also. Okay, na? In expression, some L values are modifiable. These values are called as modifiable values. Okay, na? Some values are constant. Those values are not modified in the program. That is nothing but constant values. Okay, na? Here, next one, R value. What is the meaning of R value here? R value refers to data value that is stored at some address in memory. Okay, na? Here R value is same as L value. It refers to data value that is stored at some addresses in memory. Okay, na? Here the unary and address of operator represent an L value as its operand. That is ampersand and is valid expression only if n is the L value. Okay, na? Ampersand n is valued expression only if n is an L value. Okay, so these all are discussed. Okay, na? And next one is pointer arithmetic in C. What is the meaning of pointer arithmetic in C? Okay, na? Here we can perform different types of arithmetic operations on pointers. There are different types of arithmetic operations are there. Normal arithmetic operations are there. What are they? Here arithmetic, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulo. These all are normal arithmetical operations. We can perform these all type of arithmetical operations on pointers. Okay. However, we know that pointer consists of address. Okay, now our definition says what is the meaning of pointer here? Pointer is one type of variable which can hold address of another variable. Simply, we can call as pointer consists of address. The result of arithmetic operation performed of the pointer will also be pointer. Okay? So simply pointer always consists of address. Pointer always consists of address. The result of the arithmetical operations performed on pointer will be also be pointer. Okay. So simply here we performed any operation on pointer. The result will also pointer if the other operand is type integer. Okay. If it is integer, if the other operand is integer, then pointer consists the address. If pointer from pointer subtraction, the result will be the integer value. For example, here pointer from pointer subtraction. For example, if we perform pointer to pointer from pointer subtraction, the result will be the integer value. Okay, na? Here, the following are some arithmetical operations. Arithmetical operations are possible on pointers in C. Okay, there are some examples are there, that is increment. Okay, na? Pointer increment, decrement, addition we can perform, subtraction, and also comparison. Okay, these all are the arithmetical operations performed on pointers in C language. Those are simply increment, decrement, addition, subtraction, comparison. Okay, na? Yes, what is the meaning of increment here? Increment is nothing but increment by what? Increment by what? What is the meaning of decrement? Decrement is nothing but decrease its value. Decrease its value. What is the meaning of addition? Here, addition is nothing but performing addition operation, nothing but using with plus symbol. Normal meaning. What is the meaning of subtraction here? Subtraction is nothing but subtracting, nothing but decrease, decrement operation. Not decrement. Subtraction means, for example, minus operation, performing minus operation. Comparison, what is the meaning of here? Comparison. Comparison means comparing two pointers like that. Okay. So coming to our first one, that is increment. pointer in C. How increment operation is performed in pointers. Okay. Na? So if we increment pointer by 1, what happened? If we increment a pointer by 1, what happened? The pointer will start pointing the immediate next position. So for example, here if we performing increment operation on pointers, what will happen? It immediately starts next location. That means it increment by 1. It increment by 1. So it increment by 1, it is nothing but increment operation. This is somewhat different from general arithmetic, since the value of the pointer will get increment by size of the data type to which the pointer is pointing. Okay, now so simply if we increment pointer by 1, what happened here? It immediate next location. It immediate pointer will start pointing to the immediate next location. Okay, now here there is some syntax is there to perform increment the pointer. This is the syntax. Okay, now I am highlighting this. Yes, this one. And this is the rule to increment the pointer. This is the rule to increment the pointer. That is new address. Okay, here new address equal to current address plus I. Okay, new address equal to current address plus I hashtag size of data type. Size of data type. What happened here? Okay, you if you use this syntax, this increment the pointer. If you use this syntax, this increment the pointer by 1. Simply arithmetic, simply increment. Okay, simply we can perform increment pointer increment using this syntax. Here I is nothing but number, where in the syntax here I is the variable kada. Here I is the number by which the pointer get incremented. Okay, increased. Here I is the number by which the pointer get increased. Okay, now coming to our decrement pointer. Okay, so simply what is the meaning of decrement? What is the meaning of decrement? In the place of plus. Okay, in the place of plus performs increment, minus perform decrement. In the place of in the place of plus operator, we can substitute minus. Okay, so this minus decrease nothing but decrement the pointer. So same as increment operator, we can decrease the pointer variable. Okay, so ఎట్లా అయితే మనం ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఆపరేషన్ పర్ఫామ్ చేసామో సేమ్ డిక్రిమెంట్ ఆపరేషన్ కూడా పర్ఫామ్ చేయొచ్చండి. సేమ్ యాజ్ ఇంక్రిమెంట్ ఆపరేషన్ జస్ట్ సీన్. ఓకేనా, జస్ట్ సీన్ నౌ. సో వీ కెన్ డిక్రీజ్ ది పాయింటర్ వేరియబుల్. ఇఫ్ వీ డిక్రిమెంట్ a pointer, it will start point to the previous location. So if in the for example what happened in increment, if we increment a pointer variable is immediately goes to next location. But here what happened here, if we decrease the pointer, if it decrease the pointer variable, it will start pointing to the previous location means decrease 1. Okay, here this is the syntax how decrement operation is performed in pointers. Okay, so I am highlighting. So same as increment. Okay, same as increment, but here plus operator is there in increment. Here there is a minus operator is there in decrement. Okay, new address equal to current address minus I. Okay, new address equal to current address minus I hashtag size of data type. Okay, this is the formula of decreasing the pointer. This is the simple formula of decreasing the pointer in C. Okay, so this is about our increment. This is about our decrement. Okay, so simply here I am recalling again what is the meaning of incrementing. If we increment a pointer by 1, what happened? The pointer will start pointing to the immediate next location. Next location means increment by 1. Pointer increment by 1. Okay, if we decrement, what happened? If we decrement a pointer by 1, the pointer will go to previous location. Previous location means decreased by 1. Okay, these two are two different formulas. Okay, these two are same. These two are same. That is, plus is nothing but increment, minus is nothing but decrement. Okay, coming to our next one, that is C pointer addition. C pointer addition. What is the meaning of C pointer addition? Yes, C pointer addition is nothing but we can add a value to pointer variable. C pointer addition. Simply, this is same as increment and decrements. Okay, this is same as increments and decrements. So what happened? Okay, now here we can add a value to the pointer variable. Here there is a simple syntax how we can add a value to the pointer variable. So I am hitting this is same as increment. Okay, now this is same as increment. Now let us check. New address equal to current address plus number hashtag size of data type. Okay, number hashtag size of data type. Okay, na? So this is nothing but C pointer addition. So if we use this particular formula in our C programming language, we can simply add a value to the pointer variable. Okay, na? Now C pointer subtraction, same as addition, we can perform subtraction. Okay, na? So in addition, here there is the plus operator is there, but here in subtraction there is the minus operation is there. Okay, na? So same as pointer addition, we can perform pointer subtraction a value from the pointer variable. Okay, na? Subtracting any number from a pointer will give an address. Subtracting any number from a pointer will give an address. We can perform subtraction same as addition. Okay, na? So how using this formula? Using this formula, that is new address equal to current address here minus. Okay, na? In addition, here there is a plus operator is there, but this is the subtraction. That's why we are using this minus. Okay, na? So minus number into size of data type. These are all some syntaxes and okay, na? These all are syntaxes. So this is about our C programming, C pointer subtraction in C programming language. Okay, na? Addition and subtraction. Okay, na? So this is about our C pointer subtraction and C pointer addition. Okay, so this is about our topic. And now coming to our next topic, that is dynamic memory allocation in C language. This is very important. And dynamic memory allocation in C language. This is very important question. Okay, now you may get an 8 marks question in your exams. Okay, na? You may get this question. Okay, na? సో ఈ క్వశ్చన్ రావడానికి మనకి చాలా అవకాశం ఉందండి ఎగ్జామ్స్ లో. చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్ క్వశ్చన్, ఒకసారి మళ్ళీ వినండి. ఓకేనా? సో dynamic memory allocation in C language, also called as memory allocation functions. Okay, na? ఈ క్వశ్చన్ ఎట్లా అయినా వచ్చండి. Explain different types of memory allocation functions అంటాడు, లేదా ఓకేనా explain dynamic memory allocation in C language ఎట్లా అని అడగచ్చు. ఓకేనా? సో వాట్ ఈస్ ది మీనింగ్ ఆఫ్ dynamic memory allocation? Okay, here dynamic memory allocation is nothing but we can allocate the memory at the runtime. That is the meaning of dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so for example, if we constructed a program and then this program is compiled and then executed, so at the time of execution at the time of execution is nothing but at the time of running, we can allocate the memory to the variables. We can allocate the memory to the variables. This concept is called as dynamic memory allocation. With the help of memory allocation functions, we can perform dynamic memory allocations. Okay, na? So with the help of memory allocation functions, we can perform dynamic memory allocation at the time of running the program or at the time of execute the program. Here dynamic memory allocation in C language is possible by with the help of 4 functions. Okay, na? So dynamic memory allocation in C language is performed with the help of 4 functions. These four functions are available in our one header file, that is stdlib.h header file. Okay na? So if we use this memory allocating function, okay na, if we want to use this memory allocating function in our C language program, we must include one header file, that is stdlib.h standard library function.h. Okay na? So how this stdlib.h function was placed, that is std where, that is a header file, that is the address of header file. Okay na? Std is something io.h. Okay na? And this type. Okay na? So simply this is nothing but this is about our memory allocation functions. Okay na? So simply memory allocation functions are used to dynamic memory allocation. Simply at the time of program running, at the time of program executing, we are allocating memory to that particular variables. This is nothing but dynamic memory allocation. This is nothing but dynamic memory allocation. With the help of four functions, with the help of following four functions, we can perform dynamic memory allocation in our C language. Okay. If we want to use these memory allocation functions, we must include one header file, that is stdlib.h. Okay. stdlib.h. Okay. Now, what are those functions? Here, there are four functions are listed. Those are, first one is malloc. Okay, malloc. Yes. First one is malloc function. First one is malloc function. Next one is clock function alloc. Okay, clock function. And next one is a realloc function. Here, fourth one is free. Okay, free. Simply, first one is malloc. First one is malloc. Second one is calloc. Here third one is realloc, and fourth one is free functions. Okay, so these four are predefined functions, built-in functions, nothing more. Okay, these four are predefined functions. Okay, these four functions are available in our stdlib.h header file. Okay, so if we want to use these functions in our program, we must include one new header file, that is stdlib.h. Okay, now coming to our, here let us discuss about the static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Okay, so what is the main differences between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation? Okay, here first difference is, in static memory allocation, memory is allotted at a compile time. Yes, that is important. Okay, so static memory allocation, what happened in static memory allocation? Memory is allocated at a compile time, not in a running time. That is compile time. Okay, now what happened in dynamic memory allocation? In dynamic memory allocation, memory is allotted at a runtime. Our definition says that is. Okay, so in dynamic memory allocation, what happened? Memory is allotted at running time, nothing but execution time. Okay, so in static, that is compile time. In dynamic, that is running time. Now here another difference, that is static memory allocation. Memory cannot be increased while executing program. Why? Because this is static. So in static memory allocation, what happened? Memory cannot be increased. If we want to increase the memory, but we can't increase while executing the program in static memory allocation. But here dynamic memory allocation, memory can be increased while executing the program. Why? Because this is the dynamic memory allocation. We can allocate the memory at the running time. That's why we can increase the memory in the execution time also. Okay, next difference, that is, here in static memory allocation, using in array. Okay, generally static memory allocation concept is using in arrays. Okay, so here generally in dynamic memory allocation, using in linked list. Linked list is nothing but, for example, here data structures. Okay, So simply static memory allocation used in arrays, but a dynamic memory allocation used in linked list. So these all are some main differences between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. So simply here conclusion is we can perform dynamic memory allocation with the help of four functions. Those are malloc, calloc, okay, malloc, calloc, realloc, and the free functions. What is the meaning of dynamic memory allocation? Simply, okay, dynamic memory allocation is nothing but allocating some memory to that particular variable. We can allocate the memory. We can allocate the memory at the running time, and also we can increase, if we want to increase, we can increase the memory at the execution time. These dynamic memory allocations are using in data structures, nothing but linked list. Okay, these all are differences between static memory allocation and dynamic memory allocation. Okay, now what what can each function perform in our C language? Okay, so malloc. What is the meaning of malloc? What can do this malloc function? Here, malloc function can do allocate a single block of requested memory. Okay, so simply malloc function can allocate the single block of requested memory. Okay, so simply here malloc function allocate single block of requested memory. Now coming to our CLOC, what is this? What can do the CLOC function? CLOC function allot multiple block of requested memory. So MLOC can allocate single block, but here CLOC allocate multiple block of requested memory. Okay, now coming to our third function, that is realloc. What is the meaning of realloc function? So why this realloc function is used? So using this realloc function, realloc the memory occupied by malloc or calloc functions. Yes. So simply, for example, with the help of malloc, we can allot a single block. With the help of calloc, we can allot the multiple block. For example, in our program, we are used malloc or something calloc. So with the help of malloc or calloc, we can allot the single block or something multiple block. Now, this is not enough. Okay, now this is not enough memory. So we want to reallocate. We want to reallocate the memory. So at this time, this reallocate function is used. That is reallocate the memory that is performed with the help of malloc or calloc. సో ఎంఎల్ఆక్ సిఎల్ఆక్ తో మీరు మెమరీని అలాట్ చేశారు. అది సింగిల్ బ్లాక్ కావచ్చు లేదా మల్టిపుల్ బ్లాక్ కావచ్చు. మళ్ళీ మీకు ఏమైనా అవసరం వస్తుందండి, మళ్ళీ మీకు మీ ప్రోగ్రామ్ లో దాన్ని ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయాలి. ఆ మెమరీ మీకు సరిపోదు అనుకున్నారు, మళ్ళీ మీరు ఇంక్రీజ్ చేయాలనుకున్నారు. సో ఎట్ దిస్ టైమ్ reallocate function is used to reallocate the memory. Those are performed with the help of malloc or calloc. calloc తో కానీ malloc తో కానీ ఎలా ఎలికేట్ చేసిన మెమరీని మళ్ళీ మీరు రీఅలాట్ చేయడానికి రీఅలాట్ ఫంక్షన్ ని యూజ్ చేస్తారు. దట్ ఈస్ ద డిఫరెన్స్. ఓకేనా. నౌ కమింగ్ టు అవర్ లాస్ట్ ఫంక్షన్, that is free. What is the meaning of free function? Here free is dynamically allotted memory. Simply here it frees the dynamic allotted memory. That means free means delete. We can free అంటే ఆల్రెడీ మీరు ఎంఎలాక్ తో రీఎలాక్ తో సిఎలాక్ తో సమ్ మెమరీని అలాట్ చేశారు కదా. సో ఆ మెమరీని మీరు మళ్ళీ డిస్ట్రాయ్ చేయాలనుకోండి, ఆ మెమరీని మీరు ఎంటీ చేయాలనుకోండి, సో free function is used. Okay, free function is used to freeze the dynamic allotted memory. When we use this free function, we free all the dynamic allotted memory. Okay, so this is about our malloc, calloc, realloc, and free functions. Okay, so these four functions are called as dynamic memory allocation. We can allocate single block of memory using malloc. We can allot multiple block using calloc. We can reallocate the memory, that is with the help of realloc. and also we can free the dynamic allocated memory using free function. Okay na? So this is about our dynamic memory allocation. Okay na? Now coming to our next topic, that is arrays of pointers. Arrays of pointers. Okay na? Here arrays of pointers, what is the meaning of arrays of pointers? Okay na? So we can use pointer concept in arrays. Okay na? Arrays of pointers, that is our topic only. Yes, what is the meaning of arrays of pointers? Okay na? In computer programming language, an array of pointer, is an index set of variables. Okay na? So simply we can use pointers with the help of arrays. Okay na? In computer C programming language, in our simply C programming language, an array of pointers is an indexed set of variables in which the variables are pointers. Oh, what happened here? Okay na? So array of pointer is an indexed set of variables in which the variables are pointers. So simply here, for example, if we use arrays of pointers, so before that, what is the meaning of array here? Array is a collection of similar data types. Okay na? Array is a collection of similar data types. Now what happened here? If we use arrays of pointers, the if we use arrays of pointers, variables are all variables are pointers. Okay na? In array where all variables are in pointers, that is a reference to location of memory. So simply if we use arrays of pointers, what happened here? What happened here? In the array, all variables are pointers. So these pointers are referring to memory. Okay, referring to memories. Now here pointers are very important tool in computer science to creating, using and destroying all types of data structures. Okay? So what is the main use of these arrays of pointers? These all are okay. These all are some uses, and the first one is pointers are very important tools in computer science by creating, using and destroying all types of data structures. Okay, so, okay na? So we can create, and also we can use, and also we can destroy all types of data structures using pointers. Okay na? Now an array of pointers is useful for the same reason that all arrays are useful. It allows you to numerically index a large set of variables. Okay. Now, what it says, arrays of pointers are very useful. Very useful. Why? It allows you to numerically index a large set of variables. Now, here all variables are used to describe the addresses of okay, addresses. All variables hold the addresses of another variables. Okay. Now next one, that is pointers with arrays. Pointers with arrays. That is our topic. Okay, what is the meaning of pointers with arrays? When an array is declared. Okay. Now, when an array is declared, what happened? When an array is declared, what happened? So contiguous memory allocation is created. Okay, contiguous memory allocation is simply sequence memory allocation is performed. Elements of array are stored in contiguous allocation. Okay, simply memory is created. The address of the first element of an array is called as base address. Now, what is the meaning of base address here? The address of the first element of an array, that is called as base address. Now, for example, if we consider this is a simple array, this is the simple array. When a simple array is declared, what happened here? For example, a of 5. For example, int a of 5. What happened? Int, for example, if you take this example, int a of 5 semicolon. What happened? Now five different memory blocks are created. Okay, na? Those are a of 0, this is the empty, a of 1 empty, a of 2, a of 3, and a of 4. So these all are simply 5 blocks. A 5 blocks. A of 5. Now A of 0 consists of its own address. That, for example, if you take 2000, A of 1 consists of its own memory. In the same way, these 5 different blocks consist of its own memory addresses. Okay, now its own memory addresses. These all are called as base addresses. Base addresses. Why these base addresses? Using these base addresses, we can store some value in that particular array. That is A of 0, A of 2, like that. Okay, now that is about our base address. Now here, now what happened here? Here variable a and k ampersand a of 20 are equal. Now what it means, let us see. Okay, now both a and a of 0 point to location 2000. Okay, both a, so this is, okay, take this example. Yes, both a both a variable and a of 0, that is array, points to location 2000. If we declare p as an integer pointer, here p is a pointer only. If we declare p as an integer pointer, then we can make the pointer p to point to array by a following assignment, that is p equal to a, that is p equal to a. What happened here? Here a variable is assigned to p, that is here p is not a normal variable, that is a pointer variable. Okay, now we can access every value of array. We can access every value of array a by moving p from one element to another element. Okay, now so simply what happened here, we can access every value of a array. Okay, we can access every value of array a by moving p from one element to another. That is, for example, if we use p points to zeroth element, that is a of 0. For example, if we use p plus 1, nothing, increment 1 pointer, increment 1 pointer, p plus 1, that is it points to first element, that is a of 1. If we use p plus 2, it points to second element, that is a of 2, a of 2. For example, if we use p plus 3, what happened? Points to third element, it points to third element, that is a of 3. Now last one, that is p plus 4. If we use p plus 4, here p is not a good point, and p plus 4, what happened here? It points to fourth element, that is a of 4. Now we can access all the five elements of an array with the help of these pointers. Okay, now that is p plus 1, p plus 2, like that, p plus 4. Simply we can access every element of an array a by moving p from one element to another. Okay, now so this is about our this concept, that is pointers with array, pointers with array. So now here what happened here, we can access these all elements, we can access these all elements of array, that is p, that is a of 0 to a of 4 with the help of pointer, that is p plus 1 as well as p plus 4, like this. Okay, now so this is about our pointers with arrays. Okay, now now coming to our last topic, and that is applications of C language. Applications of C language. Okay, now this is very important question, and you may get this question as 7 marks in your SEM exams. That is programming applications. Okay, now programming applications. So simply we can call as applications of C language. Okay, now so this completes your fourth unit. Okay, now applications of C language. Now, what are the different applications of C programming language? Okay, now what are the different applications of C programming language? Here there are some applications are listed, and so coming to our first one, C language. Okay, C language is a basic language. Okay, now in first class, I already told, yes, what is the meaning of here C language? C language is a basic language for all the languages like C++, Java, like any other language. Okay, na? So if you know C language very well, then you can understand every language. Every language. Okay, na? So simply here we can say C language is the basic language for every language. Okay, na? So using C language, we can construct, we can develop any type of computer applications. Okay, na? Any type of computer applications. Awesome.